probably. Make sure I did this right. Great. So now you can see that because I chose the default to be 2010 to 2012, when I make the app, when I start the app up, I just have the graph from 2010 to 2012. If I want to expand that, I just have to move the slider. What happened? Well, that looks wrong. Again, dangers of live coding. Oh, that's part of the problem. This particular app, you also want to get rid of 2008. Because remember, it was empty. That still looks wrong. Something's going wrong, but the idea is present. I'm gonna go grab my own code. Oop. Oh, haha, that's why. Wow. Again, live coding, not a great idea. All the time. So what I actually want to do, let's go back and redo this. I don't know why I did years in, like this was a factor variable, is I need year greater than or equal to input, and then $years 1, the end of the range. And then year less than or equal to input $years 2. The top of the range. So that will actually give us the correct range. Before it was just plotting the beginning and the end. That looks so much better, doesn't it? So now I have a static graph. It's not yet interactive, it's just a regular ggplot, but I can move the slider around to select only the years I want to see. Not too bad to start, I think. So I'll give everyone a second to catch up with the code that I have, and I'll talk about what we're going to do next. So the code we're going to do next is in the Tunisia app tabs _2. We're going to add a tab layout, which we've seen a couple examples of that so far. A checkbox group input, which we saw that in the widget gallery. And then we're going to recreate that graph from the data source that I talked about. All of which I'm going to try to remember how to do from memory. The tab layout is the easiest part, so let's go back and do that. First, we want to think about where do we want the tabs to appear in our app. We're not making tabs on the sidebar. We're going to make them here in the main part. We want to be able to click through to different tabs and see different things. So we're going to change the main panel. So I'm going to just move plot output out of the way for right now. We're going to move it back up in a second. So the way we do this is a function. We're going to put a function inside main panel called tab set panel. It's a good start. And then inside of tab set panel, we have to add the individual tabs. We've now told it, okay, the main panel is going to be tabbed, but we have to add the individual tabs. We do that with the tab panel function. First, we'll want to use a title. This will be the thing the user sees on the tab. So I'm going to just, for starters, use GDP plot. And then after the comma, this is where I'm going to move my plot output back up to. So now in my UI, my main panel looks like tab set panel, and then a tab panel inside of there. And you'll want to be careful with your parentheses. I like to click through, make sure there's no errors, just because you're really nesting things really deeply at this point. And especially if you use the tidy framework, like I often do with pipes, you don't nest a lot. So let's run the app and see how it's different. Now I have, it's only one tab, but I do have a tab. So that's exciting. Let's add a placeholder for our second tab. I'm just going to put a tab panel, GDP sector shares. I'm not going to add my output yet. This is just my placeholder. So now there's just a blank tab because I haven't put anything on it. Okay, let's build our second plot. Sorry, I'm just kind of anal about spacing. You're free to do what you like. So my shares plot. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna create an output object. Call it my shares plot. And because it's also just gonna be a plot, I can also use render plot. So this is kind of a convention here in Shiny. You do the parentheses, but you're also gonna use curly braces and build your stuff inside of that. I'm positive there's a developer reason for that I don't know. Okay. So we'll use our Tunisia data set again. One thing I do notice, you may have noticed about this, is of course that right now it's not in the right format. I'm not going to be able to do this stacked bar graph the way that this data is right now. So this is where you get a little extra stuff for free, because I learned how to use pivot longer last night so that we could make data longer. I'm still old school and have used gather and spread until last night, but I thought I would be hip and modern. So looking at the Tunisia data, and let's actually look at the help page for pivot longer, because this helped me when I was trying to use it last night. My data frame, which I have piped in, the columns that I want to do, names to, and then values to are the things I really need to do this.